Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jade, and this is How to App on iOS. And today we have the birthday boy,
Jerry Gomes.
We're going to find out all about this elusive artist that you've grown to love. We're going to start off by playing one of these tracks. It's a pretty new one. It's called Road Trip. Are you ready? Let's Oja.
Got a feeling that I'm not on the right track. I got a
Welcome to the show, everybody. I hope you're all doing good. Man, it is Friday morning and the show already got off to a bumper weird start because I didn't have your comments set up and all your emojis to float around. So I was desperately trying to fix that during that song. What a killer song that is. That is, of course, Road Trip by our guest today, Jerry Gomes, and that was featuring Colourful Energy, and we all love Colourful Energy. Now, this guy's done a whole bunch of collabs with lots of cool people. So, all right, let's calm down. Oh, that was crazy. Let me tell you, behind the scenes here, I was losing my shit, trying to make sure all the comments were working. The shirt doesn't fit me well. It's like a dress, Laurie. But welcome. Thank you all for being here. You know, it's very kind that you're. I know I'm in white, but you know what it's shown? Look how long my hair is. Who knew that underneath all those black T-shirts, my hair is actually really long. So that's a really cool thing. Thank you. I'm Jade. This is How to App on iOS. Every week we do an interview or something kind of off the wall or zany or whatever. And this week's no different. We've got a great artist for you today. Thank you for spending your time over here with me and my guest. It's very, 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 I have so much gratitude for that. So thank you so very much. All right, so we've got our chat going. Everything's working now. We've got our emojis. If you are a Wart Warrior here on the channel and you pay $1 a month for membership, you get to put custom emojis in. And yes, we've got two Jerry Gomes custom emojis today. I'll put them in the chat for you. There they are. We've got, and they'll float all over the place if you put them in the chat and all that jazz. So go ahead if you're a Wart Warrior and throw the emojis around like there's no tomorrow. Okay, now, before we get into bringing our guest on, I have known Jerry for what seems a few years, but I know absolutely nothing about Jerry. He's very elusive, and I have been very, very privileged to master a lot of his music and put the little finished touches to his music, but I still don't know anything about him. So for me today, this is going to be really interesting because I'm flying dark into this as well as you. And I like these interviews because I like mystery. I feel like I'm in a Scooby-Doo episode. And today, our special guest, Jerry Gomes, it is his birthday. So would you please join me in putting some crumpets and crimpets and whatever bloody hell hippie says to put in the chat, birthday stuff, and celebrate with me. But let's bring him on. Let's stop dicking around. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the man of the next 2 hours that we have on the show today. Look at all these emojis, you weirdos. All right, let's do it. Jerry Gomes. And the applause go wild. Yay! Welcome. Thank you, my friend, for coming on.
Thank you.
Right. Let's just get it done. Let's get it done. You ready? I have to do it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jerry. Happy birthday to you.
There you go.
Thank God I'm recording this.
If that's the creepiest birthday song you've ever had, sue me. How you going, Jerry? You going good?
I'm doing great. Yeah. My birthday. Fuck.
Yeah. Well, you poor thing having to spend it with me. Well, that's what Russ said anyway. Russ is a prick.
Yes.
Man, these emojis are giant. I'm going to have to change the size of them, I think. I changed the size of them last week. I'm going to bring them down a bit. Let's do that. Let me just fix this. Let me bring these emojis. They're too big. Where are they? General... Make emojis twice the size. All right, let's turn it off and then turn it back on, and hopefully that'll fix the emojis being so big. Hopefully so. No, they're still big. Oh, well, we'll just let him go. Whatever.
Hey, it's my birthday. I'll cry up.
Yeah, exactly. So we're finally here, and yeah, you are a very elusive character. Do you keep your life very private on purpose? Because, you know, you seem to be around all the community. We hear your music everywhere. Is this a concentrated thing that you do?
You know, it's more that I'm just kind of shy and don't. I'm actually kind of insecure about a lot of my music, so I don't do as much as I probably should to promote myself and all that stuff. It's more of that. I don't think I'm so damn elusive. Um, I just I put my music out there. I don't want to bug people. I don't want to ask people too much. And if they love it or they like it, I totally dig that. And that's kind of where it's at, really.
Well, I found it quite exciting because you get to know so many people around that by the time I do an interview with them, I already know a lot of stuff. So as I said in the beginning, this is kind of like, yeah, well, I'm going to actually learn something today.
Yeah, I mean, as elusive as I am, I do have a story to tell.
Good.
I've been around. I mean, today I'm 65 fucking years old, Jade.
Holy shit.
So I started, the first band I was ever in was in 1979, 1980.
And what was,
I jumped up.
What was the name of that band?
Token Flurry.
Token Flurry. And what was the meaning? What was the meaning behind that?
If I knew, all these years later, I'd tell you. Here's something that will blow you away. Probably is it was a southern rock band. Leonard Skinner, Molly Hatchet, but very talented musicians. You know, we were good at what we did, but that's where I grew up.
Yeah,
in the town I grew up, that's what we listened to.
I'm still thinking about the name.
Yeah, I think what it was somebody wanted to call it Token, and somebody wanted to call it Flurry. So
you split the difference. Could have been worse. You could have called yourself McFlurry. That would have gone down not as good these days. I'm gonna throw it out there. We'll do our usual questions, and then we're going to get into the meat of it. And everybody in the chat, I know there's many of you here today, so thank you for joining. We will do the hellos after our second song. So 32 of you here already. Mwah, thank you so much for that. And
thank you.
Let's do our initial questions that we do at the start. Jerry Gomes, what does music mean to you?
Oh, my God. Where would I be without it? Where would we all be without it? It means everything. It's the most frustrating thing in my life sometimes. It's the most joyous thing in my life sometimes. Just when I get frustrated and say, screw it, I'm going to give up, a new song will pop into my head. And here we go. We're going again. So it's been in my life for years, and I've been surrounded by great people. I can't imagine being without it, really. And there's so much great music out there. God, where would we all be without it? It's amazing.
Has there been a time where music has dug you out of a hole of despair, or a place where you've been in a dark place and there's been a song or a particular thing that is just, you remember, that comes straight to mind, that has brought you back to the world? Or the opposite? You know, if you
I was going to say, I'm kind of had the opposite thing happen to me.
Yeah, do tell.
I was going through a rough time in the late 90s. I was going through a divorce, and I was offered a chance to work on a really cool project with some people from the band Dr. Happy. They had a new band, and they wanted me to do vocals on it. And they sent me some tracks, and I wrote some lyrics and wrote some vocals, but I just couldn't. I was in just a shitty place and couldn't make it happen. I wasn't happy with myself. I went to their studio and recorded some stuff, and it just wasn't happening. And I even had people tell me, it's like, wow, you're going through this thing. You're going to be able to write so much great shit because of what you're feeling. And funny enough, I just had the opposite thing happen for a couple of years where I couldn't write nothing. And I was offered a really great opportunity. And it was just, no, I couldn't do it. But of course, music throughout the years has lifted me out of certain things. But at that time, that was horrible.
It's odd, isn't it? The ability to continue to create music, like I remember when I was young, I used to think, oh, yeah, I'll just be able to make music forever. But there's been these times where no matter what I do, this shit ain't coming. It's not working. It's I don't know. And you try everything to kind of get out of it, and sometimes it's nothing that gets you out of it. It just happens. The more you focus on it, the worse it gets sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
And I know I know one of my friends is going through this at the moment, trying to get back to releasing music and just can't seem to get it over the line. And it for something that is there and he's done so many times. Have you got any methods that you do, because you're quite prolific? You release a lot of music, especially here on YouTube. Have you got any methods, go-to methods you use to get out of a hole if you're not feeling creative?
Just go pick up your guitar. Go pick it. You know, my guitar has sat in the corner for so long sometimes. It's like, if I pick it up, I know within 10 minutes I'm going to have a melody that's jazzing me up and making me do something. But if I'm too depressed to even look at it and pick it up, so just pick up the damn thing and put your phone on a record thing and just do something, because something will come. It has to, right? It will.
Yeah, and often it's the simplest stuff, because the simple songs are the best songs that stay in people's heads.
Yeah.
You know, I do it all the time. Are you an overthinker when you write music? Do you try and prove to people, you know, hey, I've got to show that, look how good I am. I don't want to release something that's simple and basic.
I don't think I am. I think my stuff comes to me pretty easy and fast. If I overthink it, I probably will junk it. I probably have a million songs that, you know, it's just I overthought or something. But like you said, sometimes the simplest ones that come fast, you know, I'll get hung up on a lyric sometimes, and then I'll be driving in my car and I'll be like, oh, that's it. There it is. So I don't try to overthink it. Maybe I do. I don't know.
I know I do. Speaking of music and tastes and things that stick with you, when you were growing up, do you recall the music that was played in your house by your family? And did any of that music stick with you, have an impact, or any of it that you hated and you never want to hear again?
I hated when my dad played. No. My family on my dad's side was very musical. I had 5 aunts, and they all loved to play piano and sing, and they're all beautiful singers. So I was always around that growing up, you know, at Christmas time and this and that. But I remember the first record I ever bought. I don't remember how old I was, but it was a 45 of John Lennon's song "Instant Karma." And I remember for some reason that song just hit me, and I bought that 45. My sister had the Monkees, so you know, there was that. But my dad, growing up, was totally. He had a reel-to-reel that we got from my uncle who was in Vietnam in the war, and they could get cool electronics and send it back. And he got a reel-to-reel, and he got Simon and Garfunkel, "Bridge Over Troubled Water." He loved that, and so I grew to love it. He loved Creedence Clearwater, and then he got Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Deja Vu. So it was like there was good music coming around my house.
So Fat Panda Cat says, dude does not look anywhere near 65. I agree 100%. Like, what? So here's the next question. So what are you drinking to make yourself look so young? Have you got a secret elixir? What's going on?
Well, there's this box that I get in at night that's about 6 feet long by 3 feet wide. No, I don't know, Jade. I just keep going. You know, I'm still working. I'm moving. I'm writing songs. I hike a lot. I don't know. That's about it.
Do you think about age? Do you?
Oh my God.
Really?
Well, I'm 65. There's not as much sand in the hourglass, Jade.
No,
You
all
know
right,
what
all
I
right. Hang
mean?
on. Let me rephrase it. So,
Okay.
all right, we all know, like, when we get older, all right, I'm 51, the body does shit that you can't control. But mentally,
Right.
like, do you
No.
think like no. Yeah. You don't seem
No,
like
because
you do.
I think if you played my music and nobody knew who I was or how old I was, would you guess I was 65? I don't think so. I still feel like I'm a kid in the 80s writing music that I loved from then. And that's mainly where I get my songwriting was really from the 80s. So I don't feel musically aged at all.
Yeah, I think that's a secret. Russ, of course, says he looks 66. Thanks, Russ. What did you go fuck yourself, Russ?
You motherfucker.
Yes.
That's it, Russ. I'm coming over there. I'm finding you.
In the corner, Russ. Off you go. I think that is the key, though. Like, you know, not to mess your brain up with, oh my God, I'm turning. I just stop celebrating birthdays. I celebrate them, but I don't do the whole, you know, oh, I see so many people go, oh my God, I'm turning this age and it's, oh my God. And it's like, why are you worried? Like, really, you only create as much problems as what you create in your head. Shut the fuck up. You know?
Right. No, it doesn't faze me. Doesn't.
So, bridge over troubled water. Is that what you said? I'm pretty sure that's what you said.
That was one of the reel-to-reels my dad got, and he loved that song, Cecilia. It's a great song.
Well, were you one of those kids who had a tape recorder when you were young and you would pretend you were a radio announcer and do all that stuff and record into a tape?
Well, Jade, I'm so damn old. We didn't have tape recorders. No, I think my earliest memory, I remember being in the backyard with some friends of mine and us pretending to have a band, you know, and had something to pretend to be a microphone. Just so long ago.
Sorry.
You want to know how I first started singing?
Yeah, of course I do.
Actually,
Yes.
So the town I grew up in, Los Gatos, California, we lived next to the Santa Cruz Mountains, and a lot of the people in the mountains would have these kegger parties on weekends. You know, the kids would get together and they'd have a keg of beer, and no parents would be home, and they'd be out in the woods, and usually there'd be a band playing, some local band. So I had had a few beers that one night, and I asked the band if I could get up and sing a song. And I don't remember what song it was, but that's how I started. I just was like, I'm going to get up there and do it. And I got up there and did it. And that was what started it. I loved it.
It is the best way to do it, just to throw yourself at it, you know. I remember the first time when I joined a band, I was in a punk band, and all the dudes were way older than me. I was only like 14 years old, 14, 15. I was going to these rehearsal rooms with these older dudes who were all smoking pot and drinking, but they wanted me to sing for them. And then I went to school and I was playing guitar in the school band, and then our singer quit and they went, we don't have a singer. Does anyone sing? And I went, I sing in a punk band. And then the next day I was singing Love Shack by the B-52s. And I'm like, what the hell? That was it. that was the beginning of the journey, by going, hey, you see a painted sign by the side of the road. Like, what the hell?
I had a similar experience. The first band I actually joined, I met these guys, and they had a singer already, and they had this really cool place to practice at, because their parents lived up on this hill, and they had this old barn, and they had this cool practice place. And I was singing backup. Well, come the next week, we had the rehearsal. Everybody was bummed out. They're like, oh, Kenny got thrown in jail. We're not going to be able to practice. And I was like, hello, I think I can sing these songs too. And that's how I became a singer in the first band I was ever in.
So, Audible Video's got a question. Jerry, do you have any Indian heritage?
No, I'm just fucking red today. I don't know why. Sorry. I don't know.
Audible.
Thanks, Audible.
Audible, what's wrong with your brain? And we need to fix you, dude. You need some help. So, all right, let's move to like school. So, did you play in the school band? Did you do anything like that? Did you play the recorder?
In sixth grade, I played the trombone.
Nice.
Why? Because my dad played the trombone.
Right. I used to do that action when I worked in the sex industry.
Okay. Yeah. So but I mean, that never went anywhere. Obviously, I wanted to play drums, but Dad said, "Here's a trombone."
So, did you get beyond a drum kit? Drums? Yeah.
I did eventually. Later in my 20s, or maybe before my 20s, I took a drum lesson. I bought a little drum pad and learned how to do a paradiddle, whatever the fuck. And that never went anywhere because I couldn't afford a drum kit. And just, I'm not going to learn how to play drums on a drum pad. So then I took singing lessons with a guy that could sing like, he could hit a fucking high C. And he's trying to teach me to sing, and I couldn't. I could barely hit an A back then. I've never had a high range, but he did. He taught me good breathing techniques and gave me some tips and stuff. So
they're very important things. They are the important things. Understanding the limitations. Probably only a few important things: breathing, limitations of your voice, and knowing where your start and end point is, so you can develop it, and get it further. Because, that's what exercising and that does. It stretches and allows you to get better. And actually continuing to learn. That's the third thing. Like that's where people give up.
Yeah, I would say that's been when we go back to the topic of aging, that's been the one thing that's kind of been a bummer is I can't hit that note anymore.
Yeah.
I get asked to do covers. And people will send me songs. It's like, oh, I love that song. Yeah, I'll do that. And I'll slap up a mic and put on the interface and start singing and go, oh, shit, no, I can't do that. I can't hit that note anymore. So
I've got a question here from your daughter. Hello, Hannah. Thanks for being here.
Hannah.
What's your favorite song of all time, Dad?
Oh, my God. Oh, God. Put me on the spot, Hannah.
She's messing with you now.
There's so many. When I think of my daughter, Hannah, I have two daughters. I have Hannah and Samantha, and they've both gone on a musical journey with me since they were little. I mean, my daughter, Samantha, she knows every Cure song that was ever written, can probably play them on guitar. And Hannah loves the Cure, and we've all gone to concerts together. So if I'm going to say something that has to do with my daughter, it's probably the song Truth by the Cure.
Nice. All right. Well, speaking of music, we're going to play another song. And then we're going to come back and say hello to all these wonderful people that are here in the chat with us today. I'm going to play Surrender. You want to tell us a bit about this song before I hit the play button?
Oh, yeah. So in 1984, 85, I was in a band called Ice Walk, and we actually made an album, a real album, vinyl album. Right, the CDs were coming out. How brilliant, right? But we recorded this. John Scott was my songwriting partner, and he was behind this whole project. Mainly, he wrote most of all the songs. And his mom was giving him a lot of money at the time. And we actually went to some really great studios to record this. We ended up mixing it and recording vocals at the Plant Studios just north of San Francisco, which is a very famous studio. And if you got time, I got an interesting story about that whole thing. But if you want to play the song first, we can come back after.
Sweet. We'll play it and then we'll come back and talk about it. But yeah.
Cool, yeah.
All right, let's go. Folks, you ready? This is Surrender. Let's bang it out. Let Hippie introduce it. Boom. Off we go. We're all good. Everything's working here today. All right.
Locked inside a frozen sea, locked in sorrow. Through the hours, an endless day steals tomorrow away. But through the door, an open sea waits for you, it waits for me. With no time, we have no answers anyway. Surrender.
And you know, I am one of your biggest fans, and when I master your songs, when you send me a song to master, I always go, "Oh my God, this reminds me of this Aussie band." And when I hear your music, I think if you were in Australia when I was young, I would have been one of those motherfuckers at the front of your gigs going, "Oh, I love you so much. You're the best." You would have done so well here in this country. You have such a fucking Aussie 80s pop sound. It is rad.
Wow. I know you've always said Midnight Oil, which is one of my favorite bands. God.
Yeah. You've just got that sound. I mean, there's a lot of great bands like Midnight Oil here who many people wouldn't even know, like 1927. There's just so many of them, you know. People just know In Excess and the big ones.
Oh, Hoodoo Gurus.
Oh, Hoodoo Gurus, man.
Love them.
When I was a kid, even though I was a metalhead, I'd still respect the hell out of that music and be there. Oh, man. I'd see them on Countdown here in Australia.
Yeah.
Rad song. We'll come back, hear your story. Let's say hello to everybody here in the chat. Folks, make it easy for me. Type something in the chat so I can find you and say hello to you, whatever you want. You can call me a dickhead, I don't care. We've got
Doctor's orders.
there we go, Doctor's orders. You got your music. Randy, hello. Les Nagy, Michael Thompson, Tremor Bear, Laurie's Mishmosh, Hugh Caldwell, the Falco. What's going on? Scott Borthwick, Thomas Christ, Robbie Stingell, Gregory O'Sullivan, a Fat Panda Cat. Something. Thank you very much. Who else do we have here? Mateus, what's going on? Forest of the Wolf. I'm looking. I saw Pete Johns there earlier. Hugh Caldwell, of course. Hugh's here because you and Hugh got some history. Let's see if anyone else has put anything down the bottom there. We already said hello to your daughter. Hello, Hannah. What's going on? Let's see. Kim Hardin Hudson. And yeah, damn, that was catchy. Absolutely catchy as catching flies. Roadie's Jam Cave, what's going on? Joe Glenn. Also, Tremor Bear, boom, Independent Manny, United, hello to you. We got the whole gang here today, man. A big turnout. I knew there would be because you make great music. If I have missed you or you haven't let me know that you're here, I think I got Michael Thompson. Yeah, I did say that. I think I did. My memory's dog shit this early in the morning. Give me a break. I can't scroll any higher. But thank you all for being here if I've missed you. Let's hear.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to hear this story about this this band.
Okay, so I already mentioned we were making this album in like 84, 85, and at a pretty good, well-known studio. And at the time, there was like at the Plant Studios in Sausalito, they have 3 different 24-track rooms, so there's different bands there. And we had hired a producer and engineer that got us in there, and we were paying big money. So one day, in the middle of tracking, we were taking a lunch break, and we went downtown Sausalito to some bar or something. Me and a couple of the guys from the band, and we met some gals there. So we thought we were freaking rock stars, right? It's like,
of course.
What are you doing? Well, we're just over here at the Plant Studios recording our album. You know? So I was married at the time, but I wasn't doing anything wrong.
Yeah, of course.
So we invited these 2 gals back to the studio because we're freaking rock stars. So we go in at the Plant Studios. You go in, there's a common room with a bunch of video games and a kitchen, and we're sitting in there shooting the shit with these gals. We're about to bring them in our control room to show them our setup.
Yeah.
In walks, and this is why Metalhead Hippie says don't be a dick. In walks Neil Schon from Journey.
Right, wow.
Because they were recording in one of the other rooms. He looks at the girls, looks at us, doesn't say a fucking word to us. Looks at the girls and goes, "You want to see something? You want to see something really cool?" Bang! The girls are gone. Our fucking groupies are gone, dude. I mean, okay.
There's always a bigger fish.
Thanks, Neil.
That's wicked.
Yeah. So we weren't such rock stars.
There's always a bigger fish.
It was an amazing experience. We got to go to Fantasy Studios in Berkeley and watch our album being on the lathe, actually cutting the actual album for the stampers to make the record. And back then, mastering was done at Fantasy by this guy named George Horn. If you Google him and look him up, he was famous. He mastered like so many famous people, but he was there at Fantasy Studios for years doing it. And just, God, to watch him press this thing in a lathe was cutting the record. It's like, wow, that's really a trip.
I think it's great that we're, that's coming back. I'm really enjoying watching the vinyl revolution come back. I've subscribed to a whole bunch of vinyl channels now, and I'm getting really pumped for when my next album comes out. Because I definitely want to release it on vinyl before anything else.
That'd be awesome.
It's just, I don't know. It's just definitely I'll do CDs, but to have vinyl, The quality's
Yeah.
not as good. Like there's so much debate around it and stuff like that. There's mono and stereo. There's different ways you can get it done, but it's just the nostalgia. And I'm a nostalgia buff. Are you a nostalgia buff, Jerry?
Yeah, and to hold the album in your hand and look at a giant picture of Jade Starr or whatever you're going to put, whatever you're going to put on there.
I'm not putting me on it. God, that would scare people away.
Well, whatever artwork you come up with, you got a CD you're looking at. That's cool. You got an album. That's cool.
Yeah. And people don't understand too. Like you talked about mastering there. Mastering a vinyl is a completely different thing to what we're doing now with mastering music for digital, because digital has these rules that you have to do this certain level, so it's all even across the music platforms. Where mastering for vinyl, you just have to suck all the bass out the song. So if you're a dance band, you're fucked. Because if you just put your music now onto a vinyl disc and leave all the bass in there, it's just going to bounce out the grooves. It's a whole different technique, the way the music's burnt into the vinyl. So now you sound like you've been in the industry a fair bit and played in a lot of bands. Do you remember some of the earliest gigs that you've done and playing to like 2 people?
Oh yeah, playing at a pizza parlor for 2 people, nice. And one of my favorite ones was my family used to have this golf tournament called the Oh Shit Tournament,
right?
And after the tournament, they would have a big party inside the clubhouse, a big dinner, and so me and my songwriting partner from iSwap, John Scott, decided that we wanted to be the entertainment, and just him and I with acoustic guitar play some songs. And I have this picture. I wish I could dig it out and show you, but it's from the back of the room pointing towards us. But the one guy that you could see has got his fingers in his ears. So yeah, I've played so many gigs to nobody, yeah.
You've got to do it though. I think this is a thing that a lot of people miss out on now, especially young people. I'm not doing the whole yelling at clouds and stuff like that. I feel sad that a lot of people don't get to do that, because it's like doing DMT. You face your ego. And you got no choice. You got to get up there and put on the best performance of your life, like nobody's watching. And sometimes there is fucking nobody watching, and you still have to leave blood on the stage. Have you ever been? Yeah, go for it.
I miss it. I would love to gig. There's just nowhere to do it around here where I live, and nobody to do it with.
You got any horror stories of being ripped off by promoters?
Well, probably like you. I mean, when we finished the iSwap album, we had record companies, some legit, some not, like, hey, we'll promote your album, we'll do this. Just sign this little thing that says that we own all your publishing.
Yeah, great.
It's like, no, thank you. So
it's a scary thing.
It is. I mean, that's what they want. They want to get the publishing to make the money. I've seen that a bunch of times. Actually had an offer from Geffen Records at the time, but we were a bunch of idiots. They were like, okay, we like this one song on the album. Send us more songs like this. Did we? No, because we were fucking stupid. I mean, why didn't we? I don't know. It's mind-boggling. So
yeah. Regrets a motherfucker, though, thinking back on that stuff, if you let that go around your head. And it's interesting, too. Like, when you're young, I'm sure you're probably the same, the whole idea is get a record deal. And, but it's not where the money's at. It's not where your future is at. A record deal is pretty much a company saying, here's some money we're going to give you to make this thing, and then you owe us all this fucking money. The publishing deal is where it's at. You want to get a publishing deal. You want somebody to give you a publishing deal. You create your own record and put that out. But a lot of people, I was the same when I was young. I'd be like, oh, we got to get a record deal. And we did. And we got fucked over for it. Got screwed.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in bands where we've had arguments. We've had offers from these fly-by-night record companies, and half the band are like, we got to sign this. We're going to get a record deal. We got to sign this. And the rest of us are like, whoa, pump the brakes, dude. Look what they're asking for. They want everything, but that was the thing back then was I want to get a record deal. We got to get signed. And now I don't even care. I don't want to even sell my music. I have a Bandcamp page, but I don't put nothing on there. I don't want no one to have to pay for my music. You want my music? Call me up. I'll send you a WAV file, But I have nothing against people that have their music and want to sell it. I'm on Spotify and those things, but I've only put a few songs up because I just don't keep up with it. I think Gregory O'Sullivan bought one of my songs on Bandcamp for $1, and I felt bad about that. I'll give you the song, Gregory. Poor Gregory.
I love it.
I owe him $1.
Yeah. So after your first band, like, how many bands have you been in? Like performing bands?
I counted them today. 9 different bands.
Wow.
So the first 2 bands were cover bands, although the first band, we kind of started writing a couple originals. But the third band I was in was called Population R, and that was all original music. And remember I told you I kind of came from a Southern rock background.
Yeah.
When I met in the Bay Area where I lived at the time, they had a little rag magazine called BAM, Bay Area Music, and local musicians or anybody would put ads in there looking for musicians. So I answered an ad for this band that was looking for a singer, and it was Population R. And I went down and I met with these guys, and they were doing all original music, but it was not Southern rock. They were doing, the guitar player was totally into prog. He could play any Yes song from anywhere. And the drummer and the bass player was a 3-piece, were like more punk. So it was a fusion of that. And we got together, started writing songs. I got the gig. I don't know how, And they introduced me. It was the first time I ever heard U2. They gave me a CD of U2. I was like blown away. And my mind flipped from Southern rock to that kind of music. And we started gigging and recording. And we actually, back then, there was a radio station in San Francisco called The Quake, Kuak. And they had a contest for local bands, and they were going to put out an album, The Rock of '84. And we actually got on it. We got on it with one of our songs. And so that started the ball rolling. And that band is the band that morphed into IceWalk that did the album.
Right.
So from then on, I was in every other band I was in was all original music from then on out.
Oh, you know where I'm heading now? I want to talk about one band in particular that you recently have been adding to your YouTube page. And you know very well, I am a massive Mr. Bungle fan, or Frank Zappa, or anything that's multiple genres squished into one. And so you start uploading these songs, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I've been listening to these songs. Every one you've uploaded, I'm like, dude, I got to get this. And I'm so into it. I went shopping for this album yesterday, and I'm going to put it up here, and then we're going to talk about who this artist is, then we're going to play it. So this is one of your bands, and I found on eBay yesterday this CD, and I'm watching it right now because it's $29 postage from the US, $8.31 Australian. I fucking want this album. This is Dr. Happy. Tell me who Dr. Happy is and what is this story?
Well, I hope he's still in the chat because he was earlier. Randy, if you're still there, say hi.
Randy's here.
Randy,
yep.
Yeah, Randy was the keyboard player for this project and wrote some of actually quite a bit of the stuff. Amazing guy.
Wow.
So I had moved from the Bay Area out to the Central Valley in California, and I didn't know anybody. And it was like a musical wasteland for me. I was really depressed because I'd left everybody I knew in the Bay Area. I moved there. And after about a year or so, once again, I found an ad, got some guys who were looking for a singer. And it turned out to be these guys that were Dr. Happy. I don't think we were called that yet. But they had this awesome studio. They had this huge warehouse with a stage bigger than any club I had ever been in. And they had everything. Oh my God. And they were amazing musicians. But the thing is, when you listen to like Surrender, the song from Ice Walk, and then you listen to Dr. Happy, when I first walked in and they started playing me this music, I was just like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. It's not really it's not what I do, you know. It's not The Cure. It's not Echo and the Bunnymen. And there's metal guitars and all this, but they're damn awesome. So it's like, I'm going to try this. So they gave me a cassette of some of the music and said, we want you to write some lyrics and melodies to this. And they handed me a CD of Mr. Bungle. And they said, this is what we're going for. And I had never heard of Mr. Bungle. So I went home, put it on, and went, what the fuck is this? Squeeze me back, a roadie.
Slap your face with my baloney.
Yeah, okay. So imagine me. I'm like, okay. And I just slapped up a mic, put on the record, and started working with this stuff. And what you hear is what came out of it.
It's fucking rad. It's rad, man.
These guys are awesome musicians, and just Lucky Lou, the bass player, and who wrote a lot of the stuff. He still has a professional recording studio to this day. All these guys are just amazing people.
I'm going to play some of it now, and maybe we'll play another one right at the end, because I'm in love with this. And, you know, I love your stuff absolutely as well. But when I heard you doing this, I'm like, man, I just got tickets for Mr. Bungle. So next year in March, I'm going to see Mr. Bungle. I'm so pumped. I haven't seen them perform forever because they haven't been together forever. They've been apart for ages. So let's play. This is I Can't Be That by Dr. Happy. Folks, you're going to love this. Let's do it. Let's play this. Let's get it done. Then we'll come back and continue on the interview. All right. Enjoy, folks. We'll see you back here shortly. Dr. Happy, I Can't Be That. Boom. drunk. That is so rad. Like, we've got Randy here. You gotta work it out and put this on streaming services. I need this on streaming services. I need to have this in my playlist. I need to listen to this every day. it's so good. And I know when you're saying before the show, you put it up and you're thinking of me, and I was like, and I got the message from you. I didn't even respond. I went over and clicked it and went, holy fuck, what? And I couldn't work it out. Is this was this a band? Is this a cover of something that you've been working? I couldn't work it out. Wow. So were you guys touring?
Well, no, we never toured. We played a couple local gigs.
Is that it? What a shame.
Yeah. And we did the thing trying to get a record company. It's just, you didn't have social media back then to do anything with. So who's hearing it? You give your friends a cassette or you give your family a cassette. You try to get noticed, but yeah, that should have been big, I think. I don't know. Those musicians they're amazing musicians.
Yeah, I would have traded the motherfucking shit out of that. Because it was really hard to get stuff like that back then. I was in a band called Despised, and we were like jazz, death metal, funk fusion, and everything in one song in like a minute. And I remember when I heard Mr. Bungle the first time, I was like, what? What's going on? No, hang on. And then they released a few demos, Mr. Bungle, and I was a big fan. And then the albums came out. The first album came out, and I was just like, this is the only band in the world for me. Goodbye, Frank Zappa. I no longer need you in my life. But now I need I need that in my life. Dr. Happy. So and people are writing in the chat here, split ends, so many different things. Did you see all the stuff people were writing? I'm trying to go up. Split ends.
Yeah, I saw somebody said Boy George.
Boy George, I know. But I guess too that Duran, I guess too that comes from that you have such there is a real 80s feel to your vocal, but there's a wide range to it as well, and this proves that, and I love that kind of thing. But I guess that's where it comes from. I don't know how you have such an 80s tone. I wish I had that. It's wonderful.
I'm stuck.
You're stuck. I'm stuck in the 90s.
Stuck. Yeah, exactly.
It's all registered under ASCAP. Wicked. So you're going to put it that's really cool. You should put it out because I'm going to probably buy that CD if nobody else beats me to it on eBay.
Oh my God.
I can't believe
I wish I had one to send you. Like I said earlier, I have 2 cassettes still in the packaging, but who the hell plays cassettes anymore?
Well, I still have all my cassettes from my bands, all my demos. Does anybody else in the chat have if they're in a band back in the 80s, 90s, do you still have your demos laying around? I love my demos. I've put them all onto my iTunes so I can listen to them when I want. So I'm just so shocked that Dr. Happy didn't go anywhere. I guess, Mr. Bungle were against the wall too with that kind of music because it was so new and so different that people were shocked and they didn't know how to categorize them because, you had bands like Chili Peppers coming up doing their funk metal, and then you had a lot of metal, and then we went into the grunge era, the heroin era, the come down from the 80s, the cocaine era. That's how I like to judge those decades. We had acid and pot in the 70s, cocaine in the 80s, heroin in the 90s, fuck knows what in the 2000s. It was all designer drugs. And, now we're stuck with, I don't know, the current music industry, which is dominated by 3 people.
Yeah, we were definitely different than any of our peers at the time. There was the one most famous band that ever came out of this little town, Modesto. Their name is Granddaddy. If you have never heard of them, I suggest they're like a really famous, popular underground band, Granddaddy. But they were the big thing out of Modesto, and we played a couple of gigs with them. But we weren't pop, and I don't know if people didn't know how to take us. And then the band kind of blew up a little bit after that, and we morphed into as you say, we kind of morphed into more of a grunge thing, and then a couple people left, and we got new members, and yeah, we still made really great music, which I think I put it on Slaps or something, a couple songs. But anyway, yeah, I don't think people knew how to take us at that time.
So now I just need to do my usual thing. So sorry to everybody, we have to run our ad because today's show is ad sponsored, of course, by YouTube. So halfway through the show, I warn you all that I'm about to run a YouTube ad. It is a skippable ad. So if you do not have YouTube Premium, okay, we will wait for you. All right, it is business. So I have to do it. I've run the ad, and you may or may not get an ad halfway through the stream. If you have got an ad, hit the skip button. But we have to do it because we've got to pay the bills and do all that bullshit with YouTube because it's cruel. And you know, you work your ass off, and they give you like 3 cents a show. Thanks, YouTube. Keep it up. So hopefully we'll wait for people to come back, and then I agree with what Audible Video has written here. Jerry ahead of his time. Absolutely. Do you often feel, I feel like that sometimes, that back in the day when I was making music that I was a little bit like ahead of people and going, why can't other people understand this? Because in 10 years' time, this thing's going to be blow up. This Mr. Bungle thing is going to blow up and everyone's going to love it. And now it's like that. And you think back then everyone's like, oh, it's a bit too weird for me. Do you think at that time you're a bit too confusing and advanced for people?
I think we definitely were. I didn't look at it that I was ahead of my time. I just looked at it that we were not being understood by what was going on in the music industry at the time. I mean, when people saw us live, they could see the musicianship that was amazing. So I don't know what happened. Who knows?
Well, that's what it is with that style of music. I find is that it's normally a really good bunch of musicians that come together that are so super talented that they feel unchallenged playing your very standard pop music. And so they challenge themselves to, create something that's new, never heard before, and then you throw it at the unsuspecting public, and they're so unsuspecting that they don't want to have a fucking bar of it because it's too hard for them to understand.
Yeah, I gotta say with age, that CD really has grown on me. There was probably a while when I couldn't listen to it anymore because I wasn't sure if I liked how I did what I did. And now when I listen to it now, I'm like, oh, shit, that stuff was awesome.
Yeah.
What the hell?
So was that the last kind of band you were playing in before you stopped performing? What happened? Where did it stop? Where you had a break and stopped playing, or was there more bands after that?
Well, after Dr. Happy, after the Mr. Bungle stuff, after the album Good Morning Constantinople, we recorded about 7 or 8 other songs that were way more like grunge. Some of it really, really good, but it just wasn't the same. And then that band kind of blew up and morphed into another band called Holly Black. Same guitar player, different bass player, different keyboard player, I think. And that was even more grunge because the guitar player was totally into Nirvana. Really good music, and I think I'm proud of the work that I did on it. Someday I'll put some out there for people to hear. But that was the last performing band I was ever in.
Right.
So that was years ago. Then after that, I got back together with my songwriting partner from ISWAP years later, and we tried putting a band together and wrote a bunch of songs and recorded them. And the band never took off, but we did record some great music.
So I want to talk about family for a bit, because clearly your family are very important to you. I know when you messaged me yesterday and said, we need to do a test video call because I'm terrible with technology. The only thing I'm nervous about is getting this shit sorted out. And I'm like, all right, cool, let's do it now. And the first thing I heard when you joined the stream was your wife go, I think it's working. And I'm like, dude's got his wife involved. So this sounds like a loving couple. And you mentioned to me, you how important your kids are to you. How much of a role do they play in your music? How supportive are they, and how does that tie into the music that you make?
Well, my wife's very supportive, and she helps me out with, especially this tech stuff, because she knows all about it. So we actually were Zooming each other today to make sure it worked, because I didn't want to screw it up. So no, she's always been a big supporter. I've known her since we were high school sweethearts, and then hadn't seen each other for 25 years and got back together. It's another amazing story.
Wow.
Story all its own. Yeah.
Oh, I got time.
Yeah, I was married one time. I got married young. I got married at 22 and had my first kid at, I think it was 23, my first daughter, Samantha. So, and I was already in bands and rehearsing a lot back then. So my kids have been around my music since I was little. I just had a brand new grandson, Hannah, had a baby, Felix.
Congratulations.
So yeah, it's awesome. But I can remember my daughter Samantha taking my guitars, and now they weren't my guitars anymore, they were hers. And she would lock herself in her room and learn every damn Cure song there was. And I was thrilled about that. But yeah, they've been around, and we've gone to so many concerts together. It's weird, we like the same music. Do you usually find that you like the same music as your kids? Kind of strange, but yeah, they've been very supportive all these years. And I bug them, I'll send Hannah, hey, here's the link to my new song. It's like, I don't know, do they look at it? I don't know. Usually Hannah will say, yeah, I loved it. So
that's so rad. So it's really good, and I wish more people could experience stuff like that. I'm not going to go into my experience because, yeah. But hello, Michael Songs. I think I missed a few people here who've joined us. I saw Feisty Feather. Who else I saw? Chad Freeman. Welcome aboard. Zach Thong. Welcome, everybody, to those who've joined late to the stream. And where are we? I'm going to play another song because we've got a list of songs to get through.
Okay.
What out of your the songs you sent me would you like me to play next? Your
Well, we got to play one with my buddy Hugh Caldwell. That guy, if I could fly to Scotland right now and hang with him for a month, I know we would write like an album's worth of songs. He's the best. He's always supportive. So many people in this community are, but I love that guy. So I would play Home. It's one of if you had to ask me what I think is one of the best songs that I've written solo, I think this might be the one.
And it's the perfect segue, dude. How did you do that? Because we were just talking about family. It would have been the song that I would have done next because I like a good segue, So, all right, we're going to play Home. Featuring what do we call him? The Tribe Slut. That is his new nickname because he's on everybody's songs. And he's a wicked dude. He's a really sweet dude, if you can understand what he says. I can understand him clear as anything. I don't know what people are talking. Do you have trouble understanding Hugh, Jerry?
Well, a little bit. I have his phone number, but I haven't called him yet because I don't know if we can have a conversation. One of these days I'm going to call him and I might have to have a translator. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's awesome. All right, let's play this. This is Home. Jerry Gomes and Hugh Caldwell. Are you ready, my crew? Let's do it right now. Boom.
And now these lines on my face prove I survived the changes. But now I'm not sure where to go. Should I throw it all away? Start a brand new day, try to make it back to where I used to be, rediscover the old me. I just wanna go home. Just wanna go home. Yeah, 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 yeah. Life goes by so fast, like sunlight on the grass. One blink and it's gone. We're all just moving on. Take stock of what you have and try to make it last. This moment's all we have. I wish I could go back. Should I throw it all away? Start a brand new day. Try to make it back to where I used to be. Rediscover the old me. I just wanna go home. That's where I belong. I wanna
That is a fucking awesome song.
Thank you.
It is. So I've left a comment up on the screen here because we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about your vocals and my relationship with you and your vocals. Right. So, no. So, what you guys wouldn't know is, so I've been mastering Jerry's stuff for a while now because I have a Patreon. And it's $1 a month, and you can join up and send me a song. Every weekend I do a live stream, and I master people's music. And I've been mastering Jerry's stuff for a while. And everybody who's a patron's there every weekend, and we all listen to it and give opinions and say how much we love it, or if there's something we spot. It's a really tight tribe, and we all trust each other. And one of the things I've been saying to you forever since I started mastering your stuff is, why are you swimming your vocals in so much effects? Because, and now this is what's interesting. I've noticed you're starting to pull them out because I could hear this amazing vocal under there. And now finding out who you are and your history, you never used to do that. Your voice was, up front. What was there something that drove you to do that when you started recording your own music? Was there a reason that you did that? Because, I hate hearing an amazing vocal that's soaked in effects. I know it could be just so much more present and in your face.
Well, if you notice, I didn't send you any of those songs to play today.
No, but that would have been cool too, because we could have a reference. But
Right.
and it wasn't a criticism. It was like, man, it's like taking something and putting a blanket over it, in my opinion.
I think when I first started out putting out stuff on YouTube, when I made my channel and would put music out there, I think I felt like I needed to put more effects on my voice to be cool or whatever. Or maybe I just found the coolest new app and had to use it.
Yeah.
I know somebody that pushes a lot of apps.
Yeah, I know.
like
It's my fault. Sorry.
but yeah, and I learned from you. I'm actually insecure about my voice and my music in general. I've actually deleted songs off my channel just because of sometimes it's a hate-love relationship with your music. I don't know if you feel like that, but I think I just was insecure and I needed somebody to help and guide me, and you really did by saying, you don't got to do that much. And I learned, and learning how to use the DAW and how to dial back and make it sound good. And listening to other people, all the artists in this community, you could just go listen to their music and go, okay, I see what they're doing. And I watch a lot of YouTube videos on how to do this and that. And so I think I just was naive at the best way to record my vocals is part of it.
I totally get where you're coming from. I mean, I'm my worst critic, I think most of us are. We've had this. You're my 126th interview from people in this community, and it's a common story. We're all sitting there fighting with this. This is always telling us that we suck for how incredibly powerful this thing is that's inside our head and the things we can manifest from it. It's a motherfucker sometimes. It constantly wants to tell us that we suck and we're not good enough. And it's like, you're supposed to be working with me, brain. What's the deal? Yeah. So, I mean, I'm so stoked. I've been listening to the last few songs and going, there it is. There's the voice, man. So I'm just so glad he didn't tell me to fuck off when I was offering that, because I genuinely care. Michael's song says here, I feel that insecurity vibe, Jerry. All these wonderful people here have made me feel far more comfortable. You sound great. Absolutely. Tremor Bear says, I deleted my music too because I'll listen to it later on and be like, oh, crap, that's embarrassing. We're all
I have that issue. I get asked by Lori's Mishmash quite a bit to do covers with her, and I love doing it with her. She's the first person in this community that I ever did a cover with, Space Oddity by David Bowie. And I love her, but I can't even listen to that because I hate my vocals on it. So, and she I'll tell her how I hate this and that, and she's like my biggest cheerleader and just tells me, "No, you're great." And I try to hang in there, but yeah, I'm definitely insecure about it.
How have you? Has there been like have you gotten over it? Like, did you just start going, right, I'm just going to pull this out and just throw it? Have you had anybody else like say that? Or am I the only person who told you to take the effects off?
You are the only person. Thank you.
I just wonder if anybody noticed the difference in lately when it,
No, most people like YouTube are like, "Oh, you sound great."
Yeah.
But I depend on you to say, you don't need to do that, that's your job, right? That's what you're there for on the weekends when you do that. When you're mastering somebody's music, I've heard you give constructive criticism to a lot of people about things. So I like that. Doesn't stop me from being insecure, but I like the help.
That's why we do this. Hi, Pookie. Hi, Chris Lane Sr. Hello, Frank Terzo. And again, thank you all. You got 42 people here loving the shit out of you today, Jerry.
Love it. Here's an example of my insecurity, how rotten I am. I did a cover of Frank Terzo's great song. Everybody's been doing covers of it. New World. It's an awesome song.
Yeah.
My God, the guys. And when I first did mine, I listened back and I'm like, I nailed it. It's good. And then I start listening to everybody else and I'm like, I got to delete mine. And I know it's good. I know it's just me in my head. And Frank's told me it's great. Everybody's told me it's great. But, you just compare yourself to people and you shouldn't. You should just rock on, right?
Yeah, 100%. That is the way to go. Metalhead Hippies joined us as well too. Hello, Jeff.
Boom, 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 boom.
There we go. There's some booms for Jeff. Let's talk about production and music and this YouTube community because so firstly we'll talk about the community. And you have done many collaborations. How do you seek out somebody? Do people seek you out to do a collab, or do you seek people out? What's the process that you go through to do this?
I wish more people would seek me out. I do. I miss being in a band, so I love doing the collabs with people. Lori's always hitting me up, and I hit her up. PJ Kobe I've done collabs with. Hetriani and Gary Hubbs have worked on one of my songs. Hugh, of course, has worked on my songs. Colorful Energy, oh my God. So I love doing that. I'd like to do more of it. I don't necessarily want to do covers. I wish people would hit me up with original music to do. So here I am, folks. Anyway, I'm not against doing covers. They're hard for me to get right.
So there you go. The invite has gone out. Yeah. Message Jerry and get more work on the Frank Terzo song. I reached out to Frank and got him to send me the stems as well. And now here's the deal. I've sat here and watched everybody doing them, and I don't have much time. So I was like, should I do it? There's already so many people. But yesterday I totally started my version of it. And sorry, Frank, I know you're here, but I just deleted everything from that thing that you sent me, and I'm just doing it from scratch. I'm just making a completely different version. None of your vocals, none of your guitar. I'm just going to make an orchestral version and do something totally awesome with some death metal at the end. I'm going to do
awesome.
A Mr. Bungle version, maybe.
Yeah.
If it even happens. But, yeah, go.
No, I think that's awesome. You should do it your way.
But
that's one thing. When I first contacted Frank and asked him if I could do it, I was like, can I redo the vocals? And he was like, hey, nobody's done that yet. I want someone to do it. So I was like, okay, I'll do it.
I think what I am going to do, because if you guys don't know, I'm starting this month community covers for my opening hour. So I'm going to be singing your songs. So I'm inviting you, if you've got a track of yours that you can remove the vocals from and send it to me. I need some tracks to sing over the next 4 weeks, but I'm definitely going to use that backing track Frank sent me to do a live performance of it there. So that'll be fun. All right, let's talk about, so we talked about collaboration and, doing all these collaborations with people. Let's talk about production and stuff like that, because we talked about this in the beginning, and I know Jeff's here, but this is important, and I've put out the offer to Jeff. Jeff's got a new computer, Metalhead Hippie, if you don't know who Jeff is. He's got a new computer, and once he gets it set up, I have offered to sit down with him and get this sound sorted out so he finally has fucking stereo on his recordings. I don't care. I'm gonna do everything I can till we get fucking stereo on Jeff's live streams. I've put my name in. God help me. What have I done? But it's very important to have these songs played, because the stereo field's really important. And I know you, like everybody, because I master these songs. When I'm mastering them, I have a mono switch, and I turn it to mono to check that there's no phasing going on. And that's an important part of mastering. And when you you play a song in mono, you lose so much of the stereo field, which essentially is like a portion of the song that just disappears. How much work do you put into like your stereo field and your panning and all of that?
Well, I do quite a bit, really. Most of us are all using stereo effects.
Yep.
And I'll pan guitars to one side if I have two different things going on. I'll pan them. I'm not huge. I don't pan a million things, but it's got to be stereo. When I listen to it, I want to put out the best sound that I can put out, and that's what everybody should be working towards, is putting out the best sound. And Jeff has one of the hugest audiences in the whole community, and I would even help monetarily if he needs some help to get that thing to be stereo, because I think he deserves it for his own channel. And I think it's important.
I think it's important too, because it's just a better experience for everybody. And, I have a setup here that I make sure it's going out in stereo. It is super important to catch all that stuff in there. And but I swear we will get it sorted, or I will eat my own feces on camera. Damn, what did I just say that? I just said that, didn't I? And
I'm not watching.
No. It's all right. I'll do it on Patreon.
I'm on Patreon. I'm still not watching.
You think I'm gonna give that away for free? Come on, there's money in that. What am I talking about? These shows always go downhill.
It just went off the rails.
Always. It's not one of these shows without it going off the rails. Even see, Mix Club says here, yeah, and now even phones have stereo speakers as well too. So, all the modern iPhones are stereo speakers as well. This stuff, look at all these weirdos laughing in the chat. You're all weirdos. Stop laughing at sick stuff like that. Are you going to do a Christmas song this year, Jerry?
Oh my God. Are you?
No.
I wasn't planning on it.
No, I'm not. What do you think? I'm crazy?
No. Probably not.
Maybe you could do
only if you do.
You could do one with Laurie and blow her kisses in it, and she can show you her feet.
She's already done a really beautiful one.
There's the demonetization gone. Pete, that's probably going to get through the demonetization. You know what? YouTube demonetized my video, and I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get in trouble. My recent video on Trans Remembrance Day, right? Can you believe it? You can't even ask people to stop in you. That's classed as I'm speechless at the way YouTube works. There are channels out there who can just preach hate till there's no tomorrow, but you get up and say, please don't do something that hurts me, and they go, no, sorry about that, demonetized. It's a strange thing. So
it is.
So how did you stumble across the YouTube community and this tribe that we have? Was there a specific channel that you found first that got you into this?
Yeah, there was. Pete Johns. I was the
gateway drug.
Yeah, everybody goes through Pete Johns, right? You smoke a little Pete Johns, next thing you know, you're snorting some Jade Starr. Yeah, I was learning GarageBand, doing writing songs and recording, and oh shit, how do I do that? There's got to be something on YouTube, and scroll through, and there's Pete Johns. Who is this guy? From Australia. It's a little different looking. Love you, Pete.
Yeah.
And my God, it's like I'm hooked. Okay, I'm subscribed. This guy's telling me stuff I need to know, and then from there, I'm like, see that there's other people on there, and they have other shows, and I find Thomas Christ, and I find Metalhead Hippie, I find Ron Ward. It's like it just all just kind of mushroomed and ballooned, and went, wow, unbelievable.
First taste is free, says Pete. God. Hello, G May. Welcome, G May. Look, I'm a official Jammy winner, G May. Thanks to G May who sent me out this award. So I won a Jammy last year, and he sent me this T-shirt. So thank you, G May. The same thing. You've heard my story. When I met Pete Johns, I was like, "Who's this funny little guy there?" I get to say it again. But what's interesting, right? Because I've been a moderator in Pete's chat, and you got people who write dumb shit about fucking Pete's eye. He's got a glass eye. Who gives a shit, right? But the one thing, because it's nothing to me. It never is like on my radar. But when I went to Pete's house and I was in his studio, I remember I sat down next to him, and he says to me, "You got to sit on this side." And that was the first time it actually registered. I've got to sit, because he can't see me out of the other eye, so I've got to be on this side so he can monitor me to make sure I'm not stealing shit out of his house. But that's the only time I've ever really thought about it. Anyway, there's a story off the track there. But yeah, most people come through Pete Johns. He's a gateway drug. I hope Pete knows I love him, and I didn't mean anything bad at all. No.
Okay.
I'm sure he knows it. And you know what the other thing? Sitting next to bloody Pete too, I got so much more respect for him too, knowing he does. See, we've all got our things. We've all got our things. Everyone's got something, And I forget that I watch him play music on the weekend. Dude's doing it all fucking out of one eye. That is just. It makes me even love him even more. You guys know I love Pete. I think he's sensational. He's super talented, super caring, and all that stuff. So there we go. We've had our arse-licking Pete Johns section.
He deserves it.
He does. He does. You feel clean now, Pete, or we can move on? Let's play another song.
I don't.
We'll play another song, and we'll come back and we'll talk about your process and how you record music and all of that stuff. I'm going to choose All Torn Down. Tell us about this song, Jerry.
Well, this is a song that was actually written, a demo of, back in about 1997 or 98. I was going through divorce at the time, actually, and sat down in the backyard of my friend's house, and just an acoustic guitar, and this song started to come to me. And I did another demo of it with my friend John Scott. We actually recorded something, just a minute's worth of it, and then it just never went anywhere. And like we talked about earlier about cassettes, I was going through some old cassettes, and I found that demo. And I went, it's a pretty decent song, and it doesn't feel to me like it used to, because it was kind of raw back then because of the feelings. And I just thought it was a good song. So it's just a song about breakup, basically. It's all torn down.
You can't go past a good bloody breakup song, so let's play it right now. You ready, folks? All Torn Down. Grab your tissues. Let's go. Boom. you're like me, Jerry. I like a good fade out as well. I do love a good fade out. I don't think there's enough fade outs anymore in music. I think
Really?
I think on my new album, the one I've been working on for a million years, it's going to come out early next year. I promise this time. I think there's about, out of the 23 songs, there's about 6 or 7 that fade out. Just because I love a fade out. I could finish it very easy. I just love a fade out. It's like,
it's classic.
it's drift. It is classic. It is. It's and it's one of the arts that I've read some posts lately of people saying things that are missing out of songs that are bridges. Like there's less and less bridges in songs. There's less and less fade outs, and songs are getting shorter because we're living in the TikTok generation. And what do you think about the way music's heading, about the industry currently? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, if you listen, this community 30 years ago, 90% of the people we listened to would be signed to record contracts.
Yeah.
It'd be amazing. And nowadays it's just bubblegum music that's pushed. I don't know who's listening to this crap. I mean, there's a lot of indie music, so you got to go there and get it. I listen to satellite radio. I don't listen to regular radio, so I can tune in, basically the style of music I want to hear. But no, the music industry, I don't know as far as the songs these days, just crap.
It's all just Taylor.
That's my opinion.
It's just Taylor Swift or nothing. That's all. That's the whole music industry now. Just Taylor Swift, and everything else is like, fuck off. That's everything.
Yeah, it's like one songwriter is writing all the songs now. Yeah, for everybody. That's the hit music makers nowadays.
See you later, Pookie. Did Pookie do some gifted subs before? I just saw on the YouTube thing. It says 11 new members. I'm gathering she did. So if you did, thank you, Pookie. I think I missed it. I don't know. Drive safe. We are up to, so we've talked about vocals and stuff like that. What DAW do you use? What's your setup? How do you create music? Tell us all about the setup that you do.
It's so elaborate. I have an iPad Pro.
Yep.
I use Logic now. I started with GarageBand. I have a couple of guitars. I have an interface. I'm super basic. A microphone. I get it done with I think the most basic stuff. I can barely play guitar. I can barely play keyboards. I do enough to get by. That's why I like to collab with people that can actually play better than me. But yeah, I use a real basic setup. I've been using Logic. I think the first song I did was that song you played earlier with Colorful Energy, Road Trip. Was the first one I did on Logic. So I'm still learning it, but I like it.
Yeah, you're finding the transition okay?
Yeah. You know what, though? When I first did, I didn't like the way my vocals sounded on Logic. I liked the chain and the way I had it working on GarageBand. So I would kind of work on GarageBand and then switch over to Logic, but I've been finding my way. So...
Yeah, what I did to start my vocals, the transition, was get that go-to sound that I would always use in GarageBand and just create that vocal track, nothing else, and then save that project and then open that project in Logic and then save that vocal patch into Logic. So and then once I did that, then I could just add stuff on top. So, it has been a learning curve for a lot of people. Plus, when it came out, we were all like, we'd spent so many years going, when is it coming? Is it when? What's happening? And then it came and it was like, all right, subscription, let's pay for it. Let's give it a go. And then we had no updates for 4 months? And it was starting to look like, do they care? Because there's a lot of problems with it. But I honestly haven't had too many problems with it. I think some of the problems have been... I think there's just a lot of people that like to complain, So you keep it nice and simple, and I think that's the best way to go. Because I think it was Tremor Bear wrote in the chat before. I think it was Tremor Bear. I don't want to give credit to the wrong person. There he is. There. That song that we just played, then you can hear every instrument so crisp and clear. Do you think that comes down? I know it's that. that you keep it simple? Do you have a philosophy on like overcrowding a song? Like, do you build a song and then remove stuff, or do you just go throw everything at it?
I try to keep it simple. Like I said earlier, I'm not a skilled guitar player or keyboard player, so I kind of have to keep it simple for the most part. But as far as layering, I'll mess around with stuff, and if it's not working, I'll take it out. But I just try to keep it simple because that's just what I know. You know, I don't know any fancy tricks, and I can't play monster solos. And I wish I knew more, because sometimes I'm like, God, I wish I could do this. And it's like, somebody help.
Thanks, guys, in the chat for letting me know. Thank you, Thomas, for the gifted memberships. Thank you, my friend. The song I released just recently for the charity album was really tough for me because I don't release music with so little stuff. So oddly enough, it took me nearly 5 months to make a song that only has like 8 tracks. So I think Logic's great. Are there any go-to apps? Do you have any apps that you go to all the time? Do you got 5 apps ready that we can talk about?
So vocals, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Because you've helped me a lot on that. I use IK Multimedia Mixbox.
Yeah.
There's a vocal patch on there that I love. Black Hole Reverb I love. I just recently bought the FabFilter Pro R2, so I'm really looking forward to using that. Let's see what else
This is Mixbox. For those of you who don't know it, I've done a show on this. So this is a multi-effects rack. It's full of stuff. It's got like compressors, reverbs, overdrives, limiters. It is just chock full of stuff. It is free to download, but it has
awesome.
An in-app purchase. And if you look at it, Australia, I think the in-app purchase is, holy shit, $129. It's a lot cheaper if you're in the US, but
yeah, I actually use that on bass too. I use a combination of that and the Nimbrini bass amp, whatever one I have. So I like that. I have all the Nimbrini apps. I use those a lot.
You mentioned Black Hole as well.
I love Black Hole.
It's a pretty much, I can't even find it. Black Hole. I'll put reverb, see if that helps. There it is. Black Hole reverbs. This is Black Hole. If you don't know what Black Hole is, it is made by the Eventide. And man, this app is the go-to. Like, it's one of those apps, don't you agree, Jerry? You just put on it, it makes everything sound magical.
Oh yeah, it's like, wait a minute, where's my Black Hole reverb? Bang, push the button, hit the bus, and there it is. It's like, okay, all is right with the world. You know what I struggle with the most is getting a good acoustic sound. And I've watched a lot of videos. It's just what I started doing was miking it and running a direct line and getting 2 different tracks and playing with that.
It's that 12th fret. You know what I really want to you know who I should get on the show to talk about this is one of the most unsung guitarists in this community, Barry Glenn.
Barry. Oh my God, he's so awesome.
Like they make this amazing traditional folk music. They're always in people's chats. They're completely understated and just there. But Barry Glenn is like on a level of Hetriani, in my opinion. Like, Hetriani's a shredder, but Barry Glenn just creates, and his acoustic sound it's off the chain. It's so good. I think we need to find out how he does it so we can all steal the tricks.
Do you think he'd tell us?
I think so. I think I can. I think I can pry it out of him. I know he's here, Barry. Would you give us all your tricks, Barry?
Yeah, you're right. He has amazing sound, and that's one of the harder ones to get right. I've done pretty good, but I think I could do better in that regard.
Now,
and there's no app that I can hit and say acoustic guitar, it's going to be perfect. I use different ones, but I'm always struggling with it.
Yeah. Thank you, Mix Club and Doctor's Orders, for the kind super chats. They are there. Thank you so much. Pete John says, when I grow up, I want to be Barry Glenn. Absolutely. Joe says, Barry's turning very red. Awesome. Awesome. That's what we want. I don't care what anybody says. I still stand by Barry Glenn is one of the killer guitarists of this community.
Helps.
So here's our Nembrini page here. Now, if people don't know, Nembrini make a whole selection of apps, guitar, bass. And I remember, Jerry, when Nembrini first dropped, I was like, I don't know about this. I don't want to buy every single pedal and have it in a separate app. But then you look at some of the other bigger competitors, it's the same difference, really, isn't it? Because you just get the app and then you've got to pay the tiers to get all the pedals anyway. So it's the same kind of thing. But out of Nembrini, and I've covered a lot of them here on the show, there's at least 10 of these that are go-tos for me now. And especially the bass one. I forget what the bass, we've got Bass Driver. Is that one? Do you know which bass one you?
I think it's the bass driver one. I use that in a combination. I use Mixbox. I go to the actually the fretless patch on the bass for that, and then drive it through the bass driver, and I get a killer bass sound. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, they got some. Have they just released a new one that I haven't covered yet? They have. I'm going to have to message them. Did this just drop? That's how in touch I am. I'm so out of touch. It's ridiculous. It's so hard to keep up. Are you somebody who buys a lot of apps?
I have a lot of them.
Do you use them all?
That's the thing. I was looking through my iPad going, oh, I forgot I got that one. Like Things, which the one I use? Dials. Is that Things?
Yep.
Dials?
That's a Things audio thing app. Yep.
Yeah, I've used that on some different instruments and it just makes things really cool and weird. And I forget that I have it, So yeah, because now that I'm on Logic, they got so many cool built-in presets and apps that I forget that I got to go back to what I liked before.
Yeah, it's a tough thing. Like I struggled having a show about apps and. Because I'm showing them to you, but at the same time, I do try and remind people they're not Pokemon. You don't have to have every one of them, but it's nice to know what they do. Before I did this show, the way I used to look at apps was because I had no money, and I would watch all the shows on them, even if I knew I wasn't going to buy a particular app. But just to know they exist, and because you never know when you're going to come up with a situation where you're recording and you go, geez, I really wish I could do. There's that thing I could go buy for $3 right now and use it. Instead of buying them all each and having them all just sit there and disappear. I've started to create a folder now. I've got a new folder on my iPad which says stuff I really should use. And I've already run out of room in it, so I'm going to have to make a stuff I really should use 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
You give away a lot of apps on your Patreon, and so I'll see in my email, that you're giving away or you're giving the opportunity to get in the wheel, and I'll look at it, and I haven't watched the show where you showed how the app works, and I'm like, should I get in there? It's like, no, you don't even know what the hell that is. Yeah, but she's giving it away. Yeah. I got to get it.
Yeah.
It's like, so, yeah, I probably have apps that I haven't used for months and months. God.
Pete says, I'm so glad Jade has a show about apps. I enjoy not having to cover them. Yes, we know that, Pete. We have I've got 2 more songs I want to play, so we're going to run a little bit over time. It is just what it is today. I'm going to play one more song now, then we're going to come back and ask you final questions and let you tell us some things. And then we're going to play, I want to play, of course, one more Dr. Happy song, because that's just me. We're going to play Not Afraid to Die. Do you want to tell us a bit about this one?
Yeah, this is another band I was in the late 80s called Floating Needles.
Wow.
And that has some kind of a reference to, God, what's that religion, the weird thing that Tom Cruise is? Scientology. Oh, these guys were, the guitar player and keyboard player were Scientologists. They're super cool guys. And so, yeah, I auditioned and joined this band, and this was one of the songs that we wrote together and recorded. And I thought it was a pretty good song. Total 80s.
It's a strange, strange thing, Scientology, that they invite you in to do an IQ test and then convert you. It's the most weirdest pyramid scheme I've ever seen. But hey, have at it. If you like that, who am I to stop people? Let's play this song. This is Not Afraid to Die. Are you ready, guys? Let's do it right now.
Boom.
Boom.
With the clouds high in the sky, sitting far below.
while Pete's here, Pete, you'd agree with this. If Jerry was here in the 80s in Australia, don't you think Countdown would have been playing his shit every goddamn week? Absolutely. You have nailed the 80s, Jerry.
Well, it was the 80s.
Well,
I'm a child of the 80s. Yeah, I think we were good. We were good, but nobody ever fucking signed us. Why?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Look, I've talked about it. I did a rant on the music industry. It's about who you fucking know. It's about experiences and people that you rub shoulders with. And I mean, you don't have to lick ass, but sometimes it's all just about that right place, right time. You know, it really is. You know,
absolutely.
You can pay. There's a lot of bands that pay their dues and have had a history of working really hard on the road, and then they finally get there, and people go, "Oh, who's this band? They're a breakout band." It's like they've been playing for 15 years. You're not knob. Like so, there's that aspect, but then there's the people who just meet the right people, right place, right time, and that is a very similar story for a lot of artists. So we're at the end of the show. We're going to play one more track because we can go over time today. Just to let you know what's coming up on YouTube for the rest of the day, my friends. We got Ron Ward coming up in about 25 minutes' time. He's doing his indie rock live thing, whatever it is. It's Ron Ward. Who knows what's going to happen? And then after that, a bit later on, we have Chris Lane Sr. and Dom Torregrossa both going live with their show that they do, the Happy Hour, copyright infringement, P. Johns. But they're doing that. So, and it's head over there today and go check it out for them. I have coming up on the show on the channel this weekend. I got a holiday tomorrow. I'm taking a holiday. I'm taking a day off. I haven't had a day off on YouTube for 4 weeks. So that's very exciting. But as I did mention, I'm doing a opening hour this week singing community songs. So your songs. So if there's anyone out there who has a track that they might want me to sing, they can take their vocals out, send it to me, get in contact, email in the description. And let me tell you, there's a special show happening this week for the rant. I'm not going to tell you what it's about. I'm just going to tell you what the title of the rant is, and you can all just ponder on it for a few days and try and work it out. The show's called Don't Let the Bed Bugs Bite. And that's what we're doing on the rant this week. So come and join me on Sunday for that. All right, let me ask you the two famous questions that I ask everybody on the show. If you were stuck on a desert island, Jerry Gomes, and you didn't have a soccer ball to talk to, what would be the one album that you would want to spend time with to keep you company?
Wow. One album?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought about this. I think I would go, and this is probably not going to be too thrilling to anybody, but I think I would go with Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. And the reason, because the first time I ever heard that album, I was at a friend's house in high school. We were up in the mountains, and his sister put it on, and just the first track came on. And every time I hear that, it just brings me back to that day. It's amazing. That whole album's amazing. So
I think since I've started asking this question, Pink Floyd's come up 3 times. That says something for, longevity of Pink Floyd. I remember the first time I heard Pink Floyd, there was somebody came around my house and said, "Hey, let's do some drugs and check out this band. You'll love it."
there might have been some of that involved.
But funnily enough, I loved it without drugs too.
I got to take a second and shut this curtain.
Yeah,
so
no problem. I'll put my ugly head on the camera for a minute just so you can all be horrified. Lots of people here enjoyed the interview. I'm glad you enjoyed the interview. I've had a blast tonight.
Okay.
All right, you're back.
It's getting a little bright in here.
You get a little bright. It's the future's so bright. The future's so bright he has to wear shades.
God.
Do you listen to a lot of 80s stuff now?
Well, I still love my Echo and the Bunnymen. Simple Minds.
Simple Minds.
Those are two of my favorite. Yeah, I do. The one album I actually got stuck on recently was Lamb Lies Down on Broadway.
That's a great album.
God, it's so amazing. Just killer. But yeah, I still do listen to a lot of 80s.
Yeah, I do too.
I was never a huge Nirvana fan, which is kind of weird, I guess.
Yeah, I was until I saw them live, and then I was like, oh,
Yeah.
shit, his voice is terrible. It's just shit. But I don't know. There's something about Nirvana I think it was more than the music for Nirvana. I think there was a hangover from the 80s. There was all this, everything was like, again, I think of the 80s, I think of Hulk Hogan and feather boas and everything being excess and so cocaine-like and just crazy. And then there had to be a come down. And that's what Kurt Cobain provided. He provided this crashing come down of like angst. And, you know, there's always a come down from the high. That's the way we work in waves. That is life, you know. And that was the come down because everybody just came out and was like, fuck, woe is me. You know. All right. Let's go with our last question, which is, if you were giving advice to somebody just starting out making music, what would be the best time to start creating?
Right now, get yourself an iPad if you can. Get on GarageBand. It's free. You have an acoustic guitar. That's all you need. You already got a built-in mic. Start playing, start writing. Just do it. Listen to other people. Join these communities and listen to what other people are doing. Make friends. And keep going at it. It's got to be one of the best things you'll ever do, for sure.
We are very lucky to have this. I look around so many other YouTube communities. You've got all these hate communities of exposing creators, and you've got. I follow so many things on YouTube: snake breeding, spider breeding channels, but even in those channels, there's so much divisiveness and everyone's just waiting for somebody to say something and then jump on them and go, oh, no, you're wrong. And it's the one thing that is amazingly not found here. And if it is found, I'll tell you what, you won't be here long. You can piss off over to the spider channels where everyone's like hating each other over, you picked up that spider wrong. And the people go nuts and they start wars over this shit. We're very blessed, I think.
Oh, we are, for sure.
We are going to go out today with another one of these tracks.
I just want to say one last thing.
Oh, yes, hang on. Yes, the floor is yours, my friend.
The Sexy Six, Jade Starr, Pete Johns, Metalhead Hippie, Ron Ward, Thomas Christ, and Lori's Mishmash. Where would I be without these people? I don't know, because you guys have all helped me and you help everybody else so much. So thank you. I love you guys.
Wow, now I'm blushing. I wish I had the Ron Ward heart effect that I could do and the love hearts would come out of my head. Thank you. Thank you for providing such wonderful music, and thank you for, just from me to you, thank you for trusting me with your music on a personal level. I don't take it lightly, Jerry, that, you know, you send me your music to master. It's very, I'm just a shit kicker, you know, but I'm so honored to be a part of your music, as I am with many people's music. It brings me great joy to know that I had just a tiny little hand in it, and to see your growth, not growth, your regrowth, and to come back after all these fantastic bands you've been in, and to have found your home here with all of us. We are very privileged to have your music shared with all of us. So thank you so very much. And thank you for sharing who you are. You know, as I said at the beginning, most of the time I know a little bit about my guest. It was fucking really hard to write a description for today's show. And I'm going to go back now and rewrite the description now that we know a little bit more. That's the first time I've ever done that. So well done for being elusive. Now, if you were going to pick one of these Dr. Happy songs, which one would you pick?
I don't think you want to play the 10-minute long one, do you?
If you pick it, it's the one I would have picked. It's pretty wild. We've got time. Ron's show isn't up for another 20 minutes.
All right, everybody. If you all stick around for this whole song, I love you. It's got so many twists and turns, like I said in the description. But I like it.
It has to be done. It has to be done.
Okay. It's Good Morning Constantinople.
So, guys, strap yourselves in because this song is an absolute fucking journey, right? You'll be taken everywhere across the music spectrum in 10 minutes' time. And, hey, we make up the rules here. We can do whatever we want. Thank you all for being here. Thanks to those who sent super chats and memberships from Thomas. And thank you, Andy, for the PayPal that you sent. I got that. Thank you so very much. And, just thanks for supporting what we do here. Let me tell you what's coming up next week. What is it? It's first. Maybe Thomas doesn't know this. I think Thomas Christ is coming on the show next week. Is that all right with you, Thomas? We're going to have one of our rewind episodes where we go back and bring on somebody who's been interviewed before, and we find out what the hell has changed in the 4 years since I interviewed this person. So Hopefully Thomas is ready. We already had Ron Ward back on, and hopefully Thomas agrees to come on. He's just finding out now. I think I did organise it with him a few weeks ago. I just can't remember. But let me also tell you too, not this week, because hopefully we'll have Thomas. The week after, something very exciting happening. Brad Example's mum is coming back, and we are going to hold an auction here on the channel for 5 of her pieces of artwork. Never before done in this community, we are doing a live auction. So if any of you know, go back and watch the interview I did with Brad Example's mum, and we're going to have an auction of her stuff just before Christmas. I think she said she wants to send the money to charity and all this kind of stuff. So if you want to get involved, I'll be putting up photos of the art of her clocks. She makes clocks out of records, and it's going to be heaps of fun. So there you go. Thank you, Falcro, for the gifted memberships. Hello, Mike Shaner. I send you lots of love, my friend. Mike Shaner is a champion. Let's play this song. This is Good Morning Constantinople. I always have trouble saying that. Thank you, Jerry, so much for coming on the show. Please stay on the line so I can say goodbye to you off air.
Thank you, everybody.
Are you guys ready? This is going to take you places you've never been before. Let's do it. Good Morning Constantinople by Dr. Happy. Come on, get happy. Let's do it. Remember, do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better, and we will all rise together.
Boom.
We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Are you in there? If you would come out, I'll let you have a $50 in advance, okay? You come out now. We don't have any more fights, okay, buddy?